They suck us dry. They take our money, they take our jobs, they take everything. We get nothing.
They take everything and we get nothing? Really? That's what happens when we trade with China? No, that's just a dumb myth. And now that Donald Trump is the Republican frontrunner at electionbettingodds.com, the comparison that counts, it's upsetting to know that he believes such things, or at least says them. I'm not sure what Trump believes. Anti-trade myths, though, are usually something pushed by Democrats.
I think it's wrong that we have unfettered free trade, so that manufacturing in this country goes down, we lose millions of jobs, and you can't buy a product manufactured in the United States of America.
Brian Brenberg teaches econ at the King's College. Is this true?
Not at all. I mean, it's completely false. First of all, the assertion that manufacturing has decreased is totally wrong. We manufacture more now today.
If you look at the numbers, they're going up.
Way up. Now, it's true that China's numbers have gone up too, but that's great. I mean, you're talking about hundreds of millions of people who have gotten more productive, who are producing things. And by the way, do we get nothing? Absolutely not. We get so many value-added products here from producers in China. We have the opportunity, in turn, to sell what we produce here, there. So trade is a win-win situation. Donald Trump's notion that they're sucking us dry is kind of this idea that in trade somebody wins and somebody loses, which is absolutely not true. And you know that every time you walk into the store and buy a tube of toothpaste, you hand the clerk money and he says thank you. He hands you the toothpaste and you say thank you, right? It's a win-win
weird
situation.
double thank you moment.
It's a weird double thank you moment.
Because it's a voluntary trade.
Yep.
It doesn't happen unless you both think you win.
Yeah.
And what's true in the store in America is the same as when we trade with China?
Absolutely, it's true. Why in the world should we tell consumers you can't buy a product that makes sense for your life? Why in the world would we want to stop that?
If China is, say, dumping something at below cost, then some Americans that were making that thing can't compete and they will lose their jobs.
It's true. That's true. Look, dumping is very tricky, but the bottom line is when a country has so overinvested in infrastructure, like China has with steel, for example, that they're selling it as these ridiculously low costs, that's a gift, basically, from the Chinese taxpayers to us.
That's what Trump doesn't seem to get.
Yeah.
If they rip off their taxpayers to give us cheap stuff, we also benefit.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, we're benefiting from very, very bad policy in China. Is it going to reduce jobs in the steel industry? Yeah, but technology is already doing that. We've found different ways to produce steel more effectively. We can produce more steel at lower cost. That's great. We're conserving resources for other valuable uses.
Donald Trump says we're going to get Apple to build their damn computers and things in this country.
If you actually did that, that would be the surest way to drive Apple and everybody else out of here. That's Hugo Chavez politics. The net result of trade is we create way more jobs than we lose, both here and in the place that we're trading with. And that is very good news for everybody.
Let's look at a more close-to-home version of this trade myth. Eating locally. I went to Times Square and asked people.
Is it good to eat locally?
Local? Yeah, you should support small businesses.
Yeah, definitely. Promote, local growth, local delis, local farms.
Is it important to eat things grown nearby?
I think so. I think that's important.
100-mile diet where you eat things that only come within 100 miles of you.
It's kind of like the Donald Trump argument. Why is it wrong?
Look, first of all, when you think you're actually eating something that was totally grown local, that is a total myth. Maybe the apple grew on a tree 5 miles from your house, but there's no way the wheelbarrow was produced 5 miles from your house, or the truck the farmer uses to take the apple from his farm to the market, or the fertilizer that's used to grow the tree. Those things are coming from all over the country and all over the world. So it's a surface level localism that sounds nice, but it actually doesn't mean anything. Second point.
Well, it may mean a bad thing. You may get poisoned at Chipotle eating locally bacteria-filled food.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think that's the biggest risk, but nobody thinks through the implications. Do you want every product to come from locally made sources? Can your neighbors make everything that you enjoy, John? Can they make the ties you wear, the suits you wear, the phone you use? They can't make any of that stuff. If we're not trading, the sphere of things that we can use in our lives constricts severely.
And if we buy it from China, it's still win-win. They get jobs and we get jobs.
Man, don't you want to see Americans get great jobs and people in China get great jobs and have more people trying to solve the world's biggest problems? I do.